Now that I'm a gold 1 player, you guys might be wondering how I did it. Let me tell you. Drag back, then I ball roll, then I drag back. Okay, drag back, then I ball roll, then I drag back. Hold up. Players see my team and they think that I spend money. Transfer profit high, so high that my nose bloody. I pass on my test, but believe that I don't study. Drag back, see defenders all day like a whole cookie. I went in the lay, I don't cook, I souffle. Bury chances on my chances, there post every day. Hold R1, then I flick my stick down. You can have Van Dyke, but I'ma leave you clown, boy. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy 1 Star a Week for you are now watching yet another episode of the Broke Boy Road to Glory. And first and foremost, I gotta say, yo, yesterday we just gave up on the weekend league, guys. I left off last episode at 11-3. And 11-3 is what I left it off as. Honestly, the weather was just so nice yesterday where I live at. I live in New York. And it's been the first time in a while that the weather's been like this for a weekend. So I really have to go out and enjoy it. It really just says a lot about the state of the game that I'd rather be outside, enjoying myself and not thinking about weekend league at all. But I digress. We finished 11-3. We got Silver 1 rewards coming this week. But scratch that. We got a Prime Gold Players Pack to open. We got it from Objectives. It's right here in front of your screen. We're about to open this. And then we're going to talk about the new storyline objective card we did unlock today, because you got about 3 days left to unlock him. So I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on him, just in case you're up in the air about taking Sessegnon or Sessegnon. Hopefully this gives you some perspective. This gives you some illumination, whatever word you want to use. We're going to start off by opening this 25, what am I saying, 25? 2 rare gold players pack. And there is nothing at all here. Nothing for us here. So we're going to go ahead and sell it. Get off the screen ASAP. We got a 45k pack. There's no promo in packs. But I would love an SBC fodder. That would be absolutely nice. Let's see what we're saying here. Okay. SBC fodder it is. We'll be happy with it. French. Center back. Umtiti, right? Long lay? Nah, no long lay. It's always Umtiti. 83 rated, but once again, I can't be mad. It's a free pack that I got for not really doing too much. Are these guys tradable? Oh, that one's tradable. All right, that's a W. I will take that. Thank you very much, EA. Now let's move on to the second part of the episode, which is the player review. And here we are. Unfortunately, I couldn't get him on 10 chem in my team. I mean, I'm sure I could have if I switched some things around even more, but honestly, I didn't really feel like doing that. I'm playing at 2,000 skill rating in Division 1, so it's very sweaty up there, and if I switch my team up enough, it's going to be very hard for me to really even hang with those guys, honestly. Everybody at this skill rating is extremely sweaty. So here we are. We're going to be talking about Sessegnon. I was going to take the Sessegnon, honestly. But then I realized, since I'm really liking the 3 at the back formation this year, and since it's really brought me my best results, I think this guy would be perfect as a left mid in the 3-back formation. But for the purposes of this episode, I tried him out in all the positions you would probably try to want to use him at. I used him at striker primarily, but I also used him as a left mid in the 3-4-1-2 or 3-1-4-2, as well as CM in that formation, just to give you guys a better perspective of what he's going to bring to your team. He's 5'10". He has high medium work rates. He's left-footed with a 4-star combination. As you guys see here, I've played 4 games with him in Division 1, and he has 2 goals and 1 assist. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying the content, if you want more content like this, do me a big solid and hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, as always, do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching this video. So when you look at this Sessegnon card, I mean, honestly, the reason why I didn't want to do him, let me get that out of the way first, is because he looks very generic as far as wingers on this game, and he's a left wing. It would have been cool if they at least gave us a right wing version of him to make him maybe an alternative for people in EPL teams or maybe in Bundesliga teams to bring to that right side. But as a left mid, I guess he's not bad. When you look at him from the perspective of a 3 at the back formation, or maybe as a 3rd midfielder, then he gets very spicy. All right, he has the pace. Of course, the shooting and passing is going to be very decent here. Dribbling wise, there is one question mark for me, which I didn't notice before I unlocked him. 84 dribbling. With how dribbling or how important dribbling is on this game, is that going to be enough? Especially if you like the skill. We're going to see. Defending wise, he looks very decent. I'm not going to lie to you. He has 72 interceptions, 73 stand tackling, 70 defensive awareness. And if you do want to play him, maybe as a wingback, maybe as a CM, it might be worth throwing a shadow or maybe a sentinel cam style on him. Physical wise, he's not too shabby. 87 stamina, 72 aggression, 70 strength, 79 jumping. Overall, he looks like a very solid card. He also has the finesse shot trait. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into the gameplay. I'm going to let you guys know, is this Sessegnon worth the unlock? Let's go. Alright guys, so as you guys know, this Sessegnon is unlockable as a level 30 season objective. Is he worth it? I would have to say if you're using a 3 at the back, or if you're using a Bundesliga team or an EPL team where a left winger, an English left winger will really help your cam. I think he's actually a very solid card, but he's nothing special. We're going to break it down, starting with the pace. He has 92 pace, and obviously he feels very quick. He feels very rapid. He feels very responsive when it comes to turning, and when it comes to beating the defensive line, he's able to do it and staying behind fairly consistently. Overall, this guy's pace is a 9.5 out of 10, exactly what you want out of any player on this game. Next, we'll talk about shooting, and honestly, I will say this part of the card really surprised me, all right? Because you see the face stat, 84 shooting. Nothing too crazy, but when you take a deeper look at the in-game stats, he has very important stats here with the 93 attack positioning and the 90 finishing, and I found those to be really his most important stats, honestly. His finishing was very solid. If you got it from the right angle, it hits the back of the net every single time. If not, it really challenges the keeper, and his runs were brilliant. Honestly, this guy was positioned extremely well, and like I said, I've said in previous reviews, this guy is right next to Mbappe Team of the Year. He's playing next to Rooney. He's playing next to Icon Moments cards. He's playing next to a very, very high tier squad. And honestly, he wasn't out of place as far as the runs he made, the finishing. And honestly, I got to give him an 8 out of 10 as far as the shooting goes. He's very solid. The only thing that really holds him back from being a 9 or a 10 out of 10 is the lack of shot power and the lack of long shots. But honestly, if you get him from the right position, which is very easy to do with him because of his pace and his attack positioning, he's actually a very good finisher. Next, we'll talk about his passing, and I will say he's a better as a winger than as a central player in this regard. His vision and short passing is very good with 88s respectively, and in and around the box he could pick a pass, don't get me wrong. His long passing was notably very mediocre, very generic, and that's because he only has 75 long passing. His crossing though is very nice. He has 91 crossing, and if you do like to cut back and you want to use those low driven crosses, this guy can do it very, very well. Overall, this guy's passing is an 8 out of 10. Once again, gets the job done, can do pretty much everything you want out of him, but he's not spectacular at this stage of the game at this either. Next, we'll talk about his dribbling, and it's honestly the tale of two stats here. The first of which are the agility and balance stats, 93 and 96 respectively, which I maxed out with the finisher chem style. And in game, he feels very, very nice as far as turning. He's very snappy, very responsive. But where he does lack is the dribbling stat. Like I mentioned earlier, he only has 84 dribbling, and I did notice it in tight areas. He doesn't feel as sticky as other cards on this game with similar dribbling stats. I think it's because his dribbling stat itself is not that high. There were times where he was able to be dispossessed in places where I could pull off a skill move with maybe an Mbappe, maybe with a Neymar, maybe with somebody with better dribbling stats, and it was kind of disappointing. It makes him feel very generic when it comes to tight spaces. His 94 composure though means that he makes love to pressure. And overall, I gotta give his dribbling an 8.5 out of 10. He's very responsive, very snappy, but when it comes to tight areas, he feels kind of generic, if that makes sense. Finally, we will be talking about his defending and physical, and honestly, he gets the job done in these regards. He's nothing too crazy, but as a third man in the 3-man midfield, as a wide mid in a 3-back formation, he is an asset. He can put in a challenge very well. His strength is decent enough to hang with most wingers on this game, and his stamina means he should last all game. That being said though, he's not going to be that great defensively. I mean, don't use him as a CDM. He kind of feels sloppy going into a challenge at times, which is expected of somebody with 70 defending. And as long as you temper your expectations, he should get the job done. Overall, this guy's defending and physical is a 7 out of 10. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think for a free card, he's amazing. But when you take into consideration, should you use him in the weekend league? I would say if you're running a cheaper squad, or maybe if you need a winger in a 3-5-2 or a third man in a 3-man midfield, I think those are both of his best roles. He could also be a great super sub, but as a striker or as a winger, I wouldn't really suggest him unless you're running a cheap squad, because while he does a lot of things good,
He's not really great at any particular thing, and that does work well in the midfield. That does work well as a wingback, but it doesn't work well as a pure attacker on this game. And overall, I gotta give him an 8 out of 10. I really enjoy him, and I think I will be using him as a wide mid in the 3-back formation this weekend. All right, guys, so that's gonna be my Sessegnon review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next episode, but until then,